raise my head up, staring in the sky. I see the best chirping, praising God. I take a tank to the sea. Oh, the waves shouting hallelujah to God. And that made my faith so strong, my hope so high, 'cause I believe my prayers are answered. What a beautiful scene. So I made a stroll in the wood. Behold, I see my neighbor kneeling.
I've given birth to a 7-month-old girl, but I've never seen my baby before. Because people have spoiled me to the girl's mother that I'm a drug addict. I suffer. I really suffer because you won't be able to eat, you won't be able to sleep, you won't be able to, you feel lonely, you always want to be alone. If take catch you, you even think you die. I never knew there was addiction in drugs, like I'll never try.
In this similar era where the entire cosmos is groaning and travailing in pain, where many addicts are looking for real solace under this culture cosmic, which sounds pervasive, there is a place you and I can call home. A place where loneliness turns into love, where sickness turns into health, where shame becomes fame, where addiction turns into sobriety. For the millions that are watching and hearing me under the sound of my voice, and the billions that are watching through television or social media, great joy floods my soul as I bring to you the maiden edition of Chosen Success Stories. My name is Eric Nwakin, your moderator, and I have with me in the house Mr. Gakpe Philip. Philip, you're welcome.
Thank you very much.
How are you?
I'm doing good, by the grace of God.
Okay, can you speak up a bit for me? Can you tell me a bit about yourself, your age, a little history about yourself, please?
Okay, first of all, my name is Gakpe Philip. I'm a Voltarian from Anglafiadonigba. I was born and raised in Adenta, Medina. I am 26 years of age, born on 18th January 1996.
18th January 1996. Okay. I heard you got yourself addicted to drugs.
Yes,
can you tell me a bit?
It all started when I started scamming. I made some money from the scam job, and I met a friend who were going to a club to go and chill with friends, and I met one old friend. I saw him smoking, and I asked him what he was smoking, and he said this one is not what I have been smoking, but by then I used to smoke marijuana and hashish and other pills, and I asked for pass. He gave it to me. I smoked. I felt good, and that day I was very happy because of the feeling I went through.
Yeah, I know you had that euphoria, but then tell me, at what age did you experiment with drugs? Yeah, the age that you were talking about, yeah, if you can reminisce.
I was 23 years old before I started taking drugs.
Okay, that means you've been smoking for the past 3 years now.
Yes, please.
Oh, okay. So tell me, so you felt euphoric, you felt elated when you first had your take of drugs.
Yes, please.
Was it cocaine or heroin inclusive?
It was opium.
Opium, heroin.
Yes, please.
Okay, so you didn't try cocaine either?
Opium was the first drug I took.
Experimented?
Yes, please.
Mm-hmm.
But after that, the guy invited the guy to my place, and he told me there's another substance which will make me hyper.
Yeah.
But the first drug he gave me, that was the opium. That one, it will make you feel dull and relaxed. But the raw cocaine, it will make you feel hyper. So he told me I can use that one to work at night. When you take it, you can stay up all night whilst working.
Was working, yes. What he meant was that the opium is a sedative, it's a depressant, whereas the cocaine is a stimulant, is a tranquilizer. That is the difference. Okay, yeah, he says you can actually work at night with it
Yes, please.
if you should give it a try, and you did try,
And I did, and it worked.
and it worked.
Yes, please.
And how was the, and how did you actually saw yourself in a line of duty as a scammer?
Oh, I was a very hardworking guy. In my line of duty as a scammer, I was a very hardworking guy. I used to make money. And when I started taking the drugs, that it's helped me work extra harder. But after a year and about half, the opium brought me down, because anytime I take the opium, I feel dull and relaxed. I'm not able to work. And the raw cocaine, it costs a lot more than the opium.
Yeah.
The raw cocaine is for those who have money, but the opium drug is a poor man drug.
But you were having money. You were scamming, and therefore you had money.
Yes, but for the rock, it's cost. It's very costly. When you take one, it will trigger you to take two. After taking two, it will trigger you to take more. So it's the opium that you use to cool down after hitting the rock.
That is why we say one is too many and 1,000 is never enough. When you hit the crack cocaine, it's been a stimulant, then you need a sedative, a depressant that will cool you down. And that's what we say. Heroin will actually bring the nerves down a bit. And that's the explanation is trying to reach out to us. Tell me, did your mother know about your drug life when you started? Or your parents?
Okay. My dad and my mom separated when I was a kid.
A kid?
I was about 4 years.
4 years,
They
okay.
separated. My dad married again. But my mom, I met my mom when I was in UPSC level 100. That was when I met my mom.
So you were living with your dad?
With my dad.
And your stepmom?
And my stepmom.
Okay.
My first stepmom passed away. So by then, it was my aunties who come to live with us and take care of us. So we've been taking our aunties as our mother by then. So it was when I went to UPSC, my first level. That's when a certain man told me he knows where my mom is. So he can show me where my mom is. So he gave me my mom's number and I met my mom. By then I wasn't doing drugs. By then I was schooling. But some things happened and I dropped out level 200 because daddy gave birth to plenty children. He wasn't able to cater for all our needs. Even though he'll pay our fees, he won't be able to take care of all your needs because we are many. So by then, you go to lectures, you wear only one dress to lectures all the time, and you know how school is, everybody will be laughing at you. So I decided to stop at level 200 and I entered into scamming. So it came to a time when after meeting my mom, we used to talk on phone, but she realized I was smoking, and they all know it's weed.
How did she got to know that you were smoking?
Okay, people told her.
Okay.
I'm very popular at my area, and they know I smoke, but people told her I smoke, and she don't even know I smoke crack cocaine. All she knows is that I smoke marijuana. Yes, and my dad also knows it's marijuana I smoke. No one knows in my family I smoke cocaine. Only my sister. She's the only one who knows I smoke cocaine. She's also an alcoholic and drug addict.
So how did your mother actually conceive the idea that it wasn't only marijuana that you were doing, but then you were doing crack cocaine and heroin?
My mother don't know I do drugs.
Till now?
But they've been wondering why I've been behaving some way. Because...
How do you behave?
When you're on drugs, it will take all your money away. I used to scam. I was a very big boy in town. everybody knew me because I was a hardworking guy. But when I started taking this rock and tie, I was still working though. But the rock took all my money away because the rock, I used to buy it in bunch. And you have to smoke tie to cool down. Because if you don't smoke the tie, you won't be able to do hot. You won't be able to cool down and you'll feel stress.
Mm-hmm.
So I wasn't able to make money again. So when I sold the tie I've been buying, and after smoking the tie, I can't even work again. All I'll do is, after smoking, I think I can work and I'll go and sleep. After smoking, I think I can work and I'll go and sleep. It even came to a time, pasting, I can't even brush my own teeth.
Yeah, before we get there, I know that from the experimental stage, because there are 4 levels, from the experimental stage, you go to the regular use, and then you go to the abusive stage, and then to the addictive stage. At what stage did you actually up your game to that addictive stage, if you can remember, when you were hooked onto drugs and it was as though there was no return back to normality?
I had friends who used to buy me the drugs when I don't have money, and it was about 2 years after taking the drugs. Like, I used to take it in my first year. I used to take it myself. I buy my own drugs because I have money. But the next year, I came down, and I was relying on friends I've helped before, and I've been asking friends for money and stuff, and all they used to give me because when I was back then, when I had money, I used to give them. So they are the ones who give me, and I have friends who also do drugs. Yeah, so that was it. So it was about 2 years later. That's when I became addictive.
In your line of fueling your substance and fueling your craving for drugs, did you ever stole or perhaps used your school fees and in fueling your addiction?
When I was in school, I was never doing drugs.
You were never doing drugs, okay. But did you ever stole from your dad or from friends or from around your community?
Even before I came here, my dad's paints in the house. See, he bought some paints about 3 years ago. And the paints, there was some reserved, fresh paints, the big bucket. I took it because I don't have money. No one will give you again. Everybody knows I'm now a junkie. Even though I was once a big boy, but everybody now know I'm a junkie and I'm an addict. So sometimes friends come around, they give me the idea that I've been stealing people's chicken at night when everybody's asleep. I have a buyer who buy it at a very low cost too. She will sell it at a high cost. I've been doing abnormal things. And when you're craving for the drugs, or when you feel like taking drugs and you don't have money, there'll be some thoughts in your head. If anything you see that you think is valuable small, you sell it. I've sold everything I have. Even the bed I sleep on, I've sold it. The bed I sleep on, I've sold it. My brother from Volta region came. He gave me a phone. When I was feeling for smoking, I sold it because I didn't have money to do what, to get it.
For your addiction, yeah.
And my dad knows I browse. He knows I'm a money maker, but now he doesn't even understand why I'm not able to make money again. And he has been wondering. Sometimes he used to ask me, why don't I work again? And I lied to him that I've been working. But because of the drug, I'm not able to work. The drugs got into my head. And when you are addicted, it's a different thing altogether. If someone doesn't know what addiction is, the person will never understand what you are going through. So I have a friend who I came here with. We've been doing all sort of stupid things, but we don't go and put knife on someone and take someone something. But it's only stupid things we do. And he came to stay with me.
And what are some of the stupid things that you claim you've been doing? Besides stealing fowls and all that.
Anything I see, You see, my house, we have plenty gallons and even barrels. I've been selling them at a very low cost. Barrel, which costs 200 cedis, I'll go and sell it for 40 cedis. 40 cedis. Gallons they'll be selling for 15 cedis. I take about 4 and I go and give it to scraps and they'll give me 20 cedis because I want to go and buy opium and smoke because I'm addicted and I'm craving for smoke. So that's some of the stupid things I've been doing. I've been asking some people. I don't have to ask them for money. I do ask them for money. I do ask them for money. And this drug has taken me. This drug has destroyed my life in a way that I've given birth to a 7-month-old girl, but I've never seen my baby before. Because people have spoiled me to the girl's mother that I'm a drug addict.
That calls into mind. Before you meeting the girl, your daughter's mom, were you doing drugs?
Yes, I was doing drugs, but she didn't know I was doing drugs.
She didn't know?
Yeah, but she knew I was only smoking.
Smoking marijuana?
And she had been advising me to stop. She even took a certain pastor's number and gave it to me that I should call the pastor. The pastor can help me stop. I called the pastor. He didn't tell me anything.
What's her name?
Her name is Lydia.
Lydia. I need the full name if you can say.
Lydia Gaba.
Lydia Gaba. Where is she staying?
She lives at Amehia.
Amehia.
But her mom's shop is at station. At Interstation.
At Interstation. And what's your daughter's name?
I don't know my daughter's name.
And you've not seen your daughter face to face like I'm talking to you?
I've never seen my daughter before.
For how many years now?
7 months.
For 7 months now, okay.
7 months.
And I'm sure that is what triggered that ignited in you a passion to quit drugs, so that you can actually reconcile with your because your story goes like, you from a broken home, and if you should leave that legacy, that trail, your child also from a broken home, I don't think you're leaving a good legacy for your children to follow. So your regrets, have you regretted anything whatsoever when it comes to drugs?
My story will let you know I've regretted, because how can you give birth to a child and you not even see your child? How can that be possible? And
did your father know anything about it? Your stepmother and your real mother, did they know anything about the relationship between yourself and then your presupposed girlfriend and daughter?
They don't know about it, but everybody has ignored, or they are behaving as if the child don't even exist. No one even calls me to ask me, Ubanon is saying, "Oh, how is your child?" No one asks me that question. Even my dad just supported me some time ago with 200 cedis. And an addict, any money they give you to even, like if a friend can help me with some money, 500 cedis, that because she knows my woman is pregnant, and that 500 cedis, I will give my wife just 100 cedis and the rest. Because if you hit one rock, it will eager you to hit another rock. And if you don't take care, you can spend all that money. So that my dad helped me with how much? 200 cedis some time ago when my wife was pregnant, and I used part of the money. I used about 100 cedis, and I sent 100 cedis for the girl because I was feeling that at least she's the mother of my child and she needs money to take care of my child. And you see, my dad don't even know I take drugs, but he knows I smoke, and he used to advise me to stop smoking. Me myself, I wanted to stop doing drugs a very long time ago, but I wasn't finding it easy. Sometimes I stay at home and feel like, hey, I want to stop today. I'll stop, but in the morning you feel like you can stop because yesterday you smoked. But during the day, or as the day goes by, or before the end of the day, anywhere, any means I'll find to get money.
You need to.
I'll need to do that, and it has really hurt me a lot. It has brought disgrace over me. Last time, one of my colleagues, he's also a scammer. He also smokes tie, but he's a big boy than me. He was coming to my place and he saw one of my junior brothers. My dad has giving birth to plenty kids. That's why he wasn't able to cater for some of my needs when I was going to school. But school fees, you pay school fees. But some things you not give it to you. I started enter. But before you go to school, that will give you 10 cedis. 10 cedis, I'll pick her. I'll drop at Medina. I'll pick her at Medina. Go to school. And that's it. That same 10 cedis, I have to use it to buy food. So I wasn't able to. A whole semester, I didn't go to lectures. And you see, because of that, and as I was saying, my junior brother, he finished SHS this year. One day he was passing by, and some guys were like, boy, we need or cooking. And my friend, he was also passing by, but they didn't know he was my friend. And he told me that, hey, what's he saying? That's in the pan. And when he told me the matter, I felt very bad, because I realized that if I don't stop this thing, one day when my child grows up, someone will even tell my child that who are power junkie, or my child can even call. They'll give a different man to my.
Because what your dad couldn't do for you, you should do for your daughter
and my siblings.
You do get it. So it's though it's a challenge. So I believe so well that you also will not shirk your responsibility, but I'm more concerned about your daughter. And did your mother-in-law know about your addictive stance?
She doesn't know about my addictive stance, but people around her area or around the station have been telling her that your daughter is dating a cocaine guy, and no parent would love to give his or her daughter to someone who does cocaine. Even which self is very hard for someone to accept his or her daughter to marry someone who smokes weed. So think of it, cocaine.
Okay, for the wonderful listeners that are listening to us through the power of radio, and the millions that are watching also through the power of television and social media, we're still talking about Chosen Success Story. Chosen Rehabilitation Center is a non-governmental and non-profit making organization situated at Abofu, Achimota here. You can give us a call on 0555 466 374. Chosen Rehabilitation Center. If you were doing drugs, if you are an alcoholic, you can come, give us a try. We make sure that you undergo a transformation and a metamorphosis like none other. You've been transformed both spiritually, physically, emotionally, and all that you can think about. I trust that when you come to Chosen, if you are a drug addict and if you are an alcoholic, I can bet on that. Come, and your life will never ever be the same again. We're still talking with Philip Gakpe. Philip, I know that perhaps when you started drugs, you had wanted to, as it were, have independence or emancipation or sobriety from it. You tried a couple of times, and it wasn't successful, I guess so. Yes. How have you tried stopping or quitting drugs at home?
Yes,
ever before?
As I already said, sometimes I used to try, or I used to tell myself that I want to stop smoking. So let me see if I can stop. I'll be at home, and the cravings there, you can't. Anyone who's an addict can never stop smoking unless Jesus touch the person.
Unless Jesus touch the person, we'll come to that side. But then I want to ask, if you should smoke and then it wears off your body, it undergoes or haven't done away in your body, what withdrawal symptoms do you personally go through?
You feel,
if for want of a better word, if you're going through techie, and techie, wonderful listeners, is where the body itself, is resisting the intake. What you took is now wearing off from the body, and now your body is now actually gaining normalcy. That's what we call techie. You go through techie. And what normally do you go through when you're going through withdrawal symptoms?
I suffer. I really suffer, because you won't be able to eat. Mm-hmm. You won't be able to sleep. You won't be able to. You feel lonely. You always want to be alone. Mm-hmm. if turkey catch you, you even think you will die, because what you go through, it's not easy. You'll be yawning, you'll be crying. It's not that you'll be crying, mama, but anytime you yawn, there'll be tears. And everybody will know. Anybody who knows about drug will know you're a drug addict. And you'll be asking some people, you don't have to ask them for money. And you'll be doing stupid things. For drugs, yeah.
Is it true that there's a sensation that runs through your body like an electricity shock? Do you normally feel that?
I feel very stressed. Sometimes you can feel hot now, and you're on the AC. And after on the AC, you feel cold, so you have to off it.
Yeah, that's what we call cold and hot taking.
It's not easy. It's never easy. It's never easy.
So, if perhaps we should, as it were, establish contact with. Would you have the contact of your supposed girlfriend?
I have it in my head. I've never seen my daughter before.
I can tell. That is the pain of addiction.
That's the pain I'm going through.
You're going through. And I know that you being at Chosen Rehabilitation Center, you've made up your mind that you want to quit drugs for good. And you wouldn't relapse this time, because you relapsed a couple of times when you were at home or when you tried it at home.
I don't believe I will try drugs again. I'm not God though. There can be temptations, but me, I'm not sure, because I've been through worse, so I've sold everything I have. My wife doesn't know that. She doesn't know. She doesn't even know I've sold everything in my room. If you enter my room right now, you think I'm a useless person. I said, even the bed I sleep on, I've sold it. Last time I told you about the paint. My dad came, and then he was like, it was my stepmom who told my dad that someone saw me taking the paint out. And my dad came and was asking me where the paint is. And I told my dad, the paint, I gave it to, I want to use it. And my dad said I should give him the paint. And I was like, but he knows that the paint is not here. I've already sold it. And he said, how much did I sell it? Let me tell him. So he give me the money, and I go and give the money back to the person and take the paint. But the person I sold the paint to, I can't go and do that.
Being an educated folk, I guess you've heard many a time people talk about how dangerous drugs is, how dangerous cocaine is and all that. But you chose not to listen.
I never knew there was an addiction. Like, I'll never try. I never knew there was addiction in drugs. Like, I'll never try. Mm-hmm. Because I know myself. Me, I like sweet things.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and the drugs too is very sweet. I won't lie to you. Mm-hmm. If I tell you drugs is not sweet, even sometimes my wife can come around and I'll go to an uncompleted to go and make fun. She wants to have fun with me, but because of the drugs, I'll tell her I'm coming, and I can leave her in the room for about 2 hours, and go and corner myself in some uncompleted and be making fun before I come, because if you are taking, you can't even have sex. The woman self diverts you. You see how drug is. So that drugs, I'm not sure I'll even try it again.
Tell me,
I pray to God, I never try it again.
How much, or the quantum, I want to know the quantum of opium you take a day. If we want to say in boosters, how many boosters were you using a day when you were at your peak of addiction?
I used to smoke about 4 boosters a day. That's not rock.
Yeah, that's tight. Yeah.
That's tight. Mm-hmm. Because the rock took all my money away. But any money I get, I buy tight to smoke. And 1 booster doesn't kill me. 2 booster doesn't kill me. 3 or 4 every day. And 1 booster is 20 cedis. So you just imagine.
So you spend invariably 80 cedis.
And even if you have 100 cedis, let me tell you, you can't even buy food. Any correct food, 5 cedis to eat. You use all that money to buy opium to smoke. Just for that feeling, no.
Yeah.
And just because you don't want to go through that pains, that turkey pains.
Do you do the chasing or you do the cocktail?
Sometimes when I became a full addict, sometimes I used to go to the bunker and when I enter into the VIP section, I buy the opium and I give it to them to chase me, because me, I'm not a chaser. That one, when I have money on me, I buy the rock and I go to the bunker. I go to the VIP section and they'll chase me. I hit the rock road and let someone be chasing me. But myself, I'm a cocktailer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, what he meant by a cocktailer and a chaser is this. A cocktailer is one who uses cocktail, and cocktail is you mixing the weed, you interlace it with heroin, and then you thoroughly mix it, and then you roll it with a smoking pipe, with a smoking Rizzler, so thin that you can have a good feel of it. So that's it. And the chasing has to do with you having a chocolate foil neatly burnt, and then you fetch a quantum of heroin on it, and then you lit a light as and when the heroin runs on the foil. Then you be chasing it with a rolling pipe, which is on your mouth, and then you follow it, and then you inhale, and then after 10 seconds you exhale. That's the process. I know as a young guy you've gone through so many difficulties, and at this very juncture, I know you have hurt so many people, and you even hurt yourself. If I were to give you a chance to say or tell perhaps your mom or your dad, your stepmother, or a colleague or a friend, who would you say, or who are you going to list among the lot that you've actually hurt and then you are pleading for their forgiveness?
I faced my dad in so many ways.
And what's your dad's name?
Christian Kwanaya.
I want you to look into the camera and say, Daddy Christian, this is your son, Gakpe, and blah, blah, blah. This is what you're saying.
Daddy, this is your son, Philip. I'm sorry for all that I've done to you. And also, Lydia, I know I've hurt you in so many ways, but I'm sorry. I'll never repeat some actions again.
I'm also thinking that you say something to your daughter, your lovely daughter.
Oh, yes, for real. I love her so much, and I'll come back home and take very good care of her by the grace of God.
Trust me, Philip is going to come back home. From now on, he is at our institution, Chosen Rehabilitation Center, and is doing pretty well. Trust me, his life will never ever be the same again. He's not going to go back again to his vomit.
Never.
He's not going to go back again to Egypt. He is going to soar high where the eagle glides, because so bright as possible. Who ever told you that addicts don't change? They do, and has one of a kind. I really want to ask this. Have you ever been to prison before?
No, but I've been arrested before. But because I have money, by then I had money, so after they arrested me, I pay and they leave me. But no, I've never been to prison before.
And what were your offense?
Smoking.
Smoking. So they arrest you in the ghetto? Oh?
Yes, the first one was in the ghetto. The second one was went to Bigot. I went to Bigot with a friend. La Paz, Bigot. So when we were coming back, we said we were going to Apples to go and buy food. By then I had substance on me, plenty. So the policeman stopped, the barrier stopped us. We didn't stop because there was substance on me. And because that is you, I should have thrown the substance away because that was what my friends was expecting me to do. But because it's cocaine, it's too sweet. And I was addicted to it, so I tried to hide it. And the police car changed us and they stopped us. Now they were searching us and they saw the cocaine on me. And you know how much that day I paid?
Tell me.
I paid 4,500 at Osu. I won't lie to you.
4,500
before they left me. 4,500.
And that money would have gone for the upkeep of your daughter, and she would have blessed you or say so many things for the Lord's grace to be upon you. But be it as it may, you've not lost anything. But one most important thing is this, that you've actually come to your senses and you know that it's now time for you to quit drugs at this young age. Because many are there who actually died in addiction. And I know, where do you normally smoke and what ghetto?
I smoke at Medina Ghetto.
Medina Ghetto in the market?
In the market.
Oh, I see. And I know you can actually recall thousands or, few people who actually passed on to eternity, by reason of their use. Or nobody ever died in your...
Even one small girl from Adenta, she gave birth to a small baby boy, and this girl left her child in the room.
In the room, yeah.
In the room for the child to die.
I do remember that girl.
The girl, her name is Survivor. Right now she's mad. Oh, I'm not lying to you. Survivor is mad. That small girl, because the drug, I don't know what's in that drug. It's not as you. The girl is mad. The small girl, she's mad right now. She left her baby inside the room.
Her boyfriend is one carpenter who also,
for real,
was a drug addict in Medina Bunker. I do know that story very, very well.
The girl is mad right now.
So when you see all these things, what does it tell you?
Myself, I had plans to stop, but I wasn't able to stop because I knew the drug was killing me, and the drug was bringing me only shame. And it even brought me shame over my family, because how can my junior brother be walking around and someone will point us at him that, boy, we never know she cocaine, on boy, baby, then be not anything. That wasn't how I was. So I was a money maker by then, but because of drug, I'm not able to do anything again. And someone can be like, he or she wants to give me work to do, but because of my addiction,
yeah,
I can't work.
There's so many stigma attached to it. Okay, by you coming to Chosen Rehabilitation Center, tell me, how did you feel when you, when the gates were opened to you?
I felt very happy, because I realized my dreams will come to pass. I realized my dreams will come to pass because I've been dreaming to stop this life, and now I can tell you that I'm free. I'm free. I came here last week. I came here on Saturday, but now I'm free. I'm free.
Yeah, Philip, you should understand that Chosen Rehabilitation Center, well, as I said, is a non-governmental organization, but irrespective of the fact that it's an NGO, when inmates come in here or addicts who really want to recover come in here, they do payments. But you were actually fortunate enough by our own set man, yes, he actually sponsored you. And how do you feel about that sponsorship? Because if we were to pay, it runs into millions of citizens. I don't think you can have the funds to do that. And then we wouldn't also like to see you also live a destructive life by your use of cocaine. So what then can you say out there to wonderful listeners who are watching us about Chosen Rehabilitation Center?
This place is one place that if you are addicted to drug, alcohol, or any substance, when you come, God will deliver you, because the Spirit of God is here. And with drug, if there is you don't add God to it, you can never stop. If you think you use other substance to replace the drug, so other substances like Dynewar, Raffinol, and codeine to replace it, so that you can stop, you go back to it. But after coming here, I don't believe when you go back you smoke again, because the activities we do have here will build you spiritually and physically.
Most definitely, because with Chosen, we have come a long way in this move of rehabilitating people, and we have come to terms with one reality, that pain is a pathway to peace. You need to go through some pain. And trust me, when you're going through withdrawal symptoms, it's not easy. Many are there who come in here with the intention to quit drugs, But trust me, within a couple of days, they will run back again. And they said no, they wouldn't have anything to do with chosen rehab. The will to stop is there, but then to stay is also another thing. What then do you have to say to our wonderful listeners there as we bring the program to an end?
No
Your
one
last
should
word,
do
yeah.
drugs. Don't do drugs.
Say no to drugs. Yes to life.